Peace and love, world. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Zoe. This is the special, another milestone. This is episode 70. So, congratulations to all my subscribers. You got another one. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the conversation we have, in the DMs or texts or calls. I greatly appreciate it. This one is big. This one doesn't really particularly pertain to me personally, but I know I have been guilty of this before. I'm a very vulnerable person, which I'm very thankful for, but I know there's a lot of people out there that aren't as vulnerable as me, aren't as transparent, aren't as open with their emotions. It's what's gotten me by. It's what's gotten me to 28 years is my ability to express myself and say what I need to say and find the people to say what I need to say. So thank you to my outlets. Thank you to my closest friends for not only taking that on, but just listening, and if you have some advice to me, you have some advice. But the fact that I was just able to speak about it, did wonders for me. So this is episode 70, titled Suffering in Silence. And suffering in silence to me means battling those demons by yourself, holding on to so much, suppressing all those emotions, all those traumas alone by yourself. Now, some people I know personally may get triggered by this episode. Hey, I was triggered by this episode. I'm triggered by every episode. But how this goes is, you can smoke all the blunts you want, but you're still gonna feel it. You may feel it even more. You may get so high and forget that some of you do forget, but then you gotta come back down. You can't stay high all day. You always come down, and then the weed is not strong enough, so you gotta find, a stronger strain of weed and something like that. And then that's not strong enough. And then next thing you know, you're doing heavier drugs, pills, etc., etc. So, that comes from suffering in silence. Alcohol, we all drink, some more than others. But if you drink and then you start crying afterwards, you telling everybody about all the demons you fight in, suffering in silence. You gotta get it off your chest. Let me tell you about the most gangster shit that you could do. The most gangster shit you could do is go to therapy, go to counseling, get a therapist, go to group meetings. Those are all things that'll help you be a better version of yourself, help you maneuver through this world in what I feel, in my opinion, a more healthier way, something more conducive to your existence and your well-being. I do these episodes for our well-being, for mine and our well-being, just because as people of color, us Black and Latinos, Afro-Latinos, we hold on to so much. We're literally maneuvering through this world with all these traumas, all this anxiety from the hood, all of that being militant, being on point. That's anxiety, homie. That's what that is. You know why? Because you're living anxious. You're always waiting, always anticipating harm being done to you or something happening to you. Now, trust me, it helps because you see things before they happen. It helps you evade certain things. But at the end of the day, that's not peaceful. There's no peace in living like that. No one deserves to live like that, And I'm not comparing the Bronx to like Baghdad or Chirac or anything like that, but all of us, people of color, are living with the same feeling. And it's sort of kind of normalized, What did Meek say? The PTSD, them drugs keep me at ease. That's real. A lot of us, alcohol is a drug. It's real. And then some of us, weed is just like, our basis. And we do things that are much harder, and that are going to numb us more. A lot of us are trying to numb ourselves from these feelings. Me, I'm guilty of escapism, where I run from my problems. And I'll talk about that even more. But what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to start to talk about things that you could only see if you watch the full video. So notice we're almost 5 minutes in, and I just said something that I'm going through, So these clips are going to be a little more particular, but escapism. I run and I ran out of gas, my friends. I ran out of gas. I ain't had no more. My soles were burnt out. My tires burnt out. You know, my plane ran out of fuel. My boat ran out of gas. You know, couldn't run no more. So the best thing that I could do for myself was to confront my demons, to confront my traumas, confront the things that have been bothering me for so long. And a lot of me was like that just because I felt I gotta make it in life. So I don't got time to deal with that shit. Like I'm gonna deal with that long, like down the road, down the road. But I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot lighter. I'm not feeling as like some people say, oh, don't pray for a load. Pray for God to give you bigger shoulders. Well, I didn't want bigger shoulders just now. God naturally gave me bigger shoulders, and at this point, I had enough. The loss of my dear friend was, the straw that broke the camel's back. I could no longer just put that to the side. I didn't have baseball where I could just go run out there and run wild and play with so much emotions and let it out. So how do I let that out? As a non-athlete now with a family. So the best way that I could do was to take a step back, assess myself, but also sit down with my therapist and go over the next few steps. And now I have tools that I can utilize to help me when I'm feeling a certain way. And I wish that for all of us. I hope we all go figure that out. And whatever we're battling with, we're from childhood, adulthood, from church, whatever bothers you, there's something that, you need to get off. And for those friends out there who can, be there, be there. If you can't, let your friend know. Be honest with them, and that's a good friend too. A friend that can tell you, hey man, like, I can't right now. I'm going through something, but I love you and I'm praying for you. That could go a long way, as opposed to, sort of kind of, throwing them to the wayside or just going about it any other way. And that's my definition of a friend, so peace and love. Like, subscribe, comment. I feel like I sound a little nasally, but it's that time of year. The spring is here. So I love you guys. I hope you guys seek the work. I hope you guys do what you need to do for you and live in an abundance of peace. Peace and love.